Hey everyone, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this time I'm bringing you guys another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In this video, we're going to be talking about a ninja, a boy, and a goddess. We're going to be talking about Shadow, Hope, and Lightning. If you guys already didn't know, that's why I refer to them as a ninja, a boy, and a goddess, because these three characters in particular for Global Opera Omnia are going to be receiving some pretty powerful upgrades in the form of either a rework or an EX realization, or even both. So we're going to be going over that for this video. Now, before I go ahead and move forward, I do want to give a massive shout out to a really good friend of mine. He is a content creator that goes by the name of Timmy Boy. The thumbnail for this particular video was created by him. I commissioned him for this. So thank you so much to Timmy Boy for creating this gorgeous thumbnail showcasing Shadow, Hope, and Lightning for this particular video. Be sure to check out his YouTube channel. I'm going to be leaving the link down below in the video description as well as the pinned comments. So I wanted to give you guys a more of like a casual video as far as these three characters go, because we know that they're going to be coming out with their upgrades very soon on Global Opera Omnia based on the schedule that we're seeing, especially for those of us that follow JP. So what I wanted to do with this video is kind of just go over what kind of upgrades they receive, give my thoughts on the banner, which character I think should be prioritized over which one if you're going to be pulling, and just overall what they do. I'll be doing like a short showcase as well. So we're going to go ahead and start off first with Lightning. So we're going to click on Lightning right over here. Now, ignore all of the other stuff that you may not be seeing right now on Global, such as, the level 80 and like the call character. Like, we'll be getting those eventually, the burst weapons, but we're here to talk about what she's going to be getting on Global. So Lightning is going to be getting a level 70 awakening, and she's also going to be getting a EX realization. Now, Lightning did receive a rework prior, so she's not getting another one. And the thing about Lightning is when she first came out, she was pretty good. A lot of people used her. She was really... She'd like to steal turns a lot. So, you would break, she would be taking like another turn right after, and then you would use her skill 2 to dump. She has two different stances. It's Ravager and Commando, and depending on which stance you're in, influences the way that she performs. And then afterwards, she was kind of sidelined, like, when level 60 started coming around, and then she got her EX, where her EX made her really strong, but then it also made her highly dependent on it. And then she got her rework, which made her better. Her rework actually improved her skill 1 and skill 2. Her skill 1 now dumps an HP attack after she steals the Brave, which is great, but at the same time, she was still kind of lacking. And I know that there's a few of you out there that were using her for some harder content, for those of you Lightning fans, because her EX weapon is what really made her shine, because without it, unfortunately, even with her rework, she was just kind of she was lacking. If you needed like a melee DPS, you're better off with somebody like Vayne, for example, who's like, he's currently like the turn stealer king right now in Global Opera Omnia. But Lightning is going to be getting a level 70 awakening, and with that, she is going to be getting a brand new ability. She's going to be getting access to her level 65 ability. It's called Break, Reset, Slash, and you can see the Dissidia DB right above me. Like I said, I kind of want to be a little bit more chill with this video. So Break, Reset, Slash at its base is a 2-hit melee Brave attack, and what it does is it cancels the target's break status after the Brave hits. Now, this is going to be very key when it comes to playing Lightning, especially if you're going to be fully realizing her, because you know how she is. She's all about, oh, I'm going to break you, and I'm going to be taking another turn right after. She also has free ability usage coming from her EX after she uses her EX. So this is going to be very important. So if you're going to be building up Lightning, definitely try to get this upgrade as soon as you can. So that's the base right there. And then if we go to her passives, the passive that improves that, which is right over here, Break, Reset, Slash, Extend. So when you use it, it's going to be adding the following effect of slightly raising her attack for 3 turns. That's also very good because Lightning is going to need as much attack as she can, because you want her to be breaking targets as much as she can, so she could take advantage of how often she can, take her turns and things like that. And then afterwards, if we go up here to her gear, we're going to go to her Bloomstone. So her Bloomstone essentially gives her 2 more uses of Break, Reset, Slash. So that's always good. So then you can count on this particular ability for 3 turns. So that is going to be what she's going to be getting for her level 70 awakening. Actually, I forgot one more thing. It's her passive. So her level 68 passive, let's quickly go down over here. She gets Radiance of Bravery and Power. So she's going to be raising her initial Brave and attack by 20%. That's pretty cool. She's going to be getting, a higher initial Brave and also more attack, which is always good for Lightning. Now we're going to go on to the juicy part of her upgrades for this particular banner that's going to be coming out, which is going to be featuring the realization for her EX weapon Overture. So upon its realization, it's going to be getting the following upgrades. So it's going to first improve Army of One, which is her EX ability. So generally most EX weapons, when you realize them 0 out of 3, this is generally what it does. So now when you're using Army of One or the plus version, she's going to have more Brave potency. She can now Brave Overflow with it up to 150%, which is always nice. It's also going to be inflicting Thunder Resist Down or Thunder Imperil for 4 turns after the first HP attack. Because remember, there's 3 HP attacks. She does 3 Brave plus HP attacks, adding a Brave hit for each consecutive one, which is pretty cool. So now that the fact that she adds Thunder Resist Down makes her even better because her element is Thunder and she's going to be dealing more damage. And then she also raises her Brave by 20% of the total HP damage dealt after the first 2 HP attacks. So she's going to deal the first HP attack, recover some Brave based on 20% of the HP damage she deals from that. It's going to translate over the next one, and then finally she does the last hit. So that's very cool, very good upgrade. And then it's also going to be extending the durations of any buffs that she has by 1 turn, which is nice. And she's also going to be getting a slight raise in her max Brave and attack. Now at 2, she's going to be granting herself a new buff called Knight of Etro for 5 turns. Or, she's going to be starting the quest with Knight of Etro for 5 turns. And then also her EX gauge is going to be filled to 80%. So what this means is that after you use like her first skill, right as her next turn comes around, she's going to have access right away to her EX. And as we know, Lightning has one of the faster EX charges in the game, which makes her like an EX machine gun in a sense. So she's really, really powerful in that sense. And also for her first turn, she's not going to be consuming an ability usage. So that's amazing right there. You can go right into Spark Strike. And then assuming that you have this weapon 2 out of 3 realization, you go right into her EX. Boom. You know, you get the break, she gets a free turn, and then you just create havoc with Lightning. And then afterwards, she also has no action delay. She also does not increase the turn count, and she does, except for, of course, friend and support. So that's pretty cool right over there. And then afterwards, at 3 out of 3, Army of One and its plus variant, what it does now is when she initiates it, she will cancel a target's break status. So if a target's already broken and you're targeting them with this, she's gonna cancel it. So she pretty much does exactly what Vayne does with his EX realization ability as well. And then afterwards, she's going to start off with that 2-hit melee Brave plus HP attack, followed by a 3-hit melee Brave plus HP attack, followed by a 4-hit melee Brave plus HP attack. And she's also going to get an increase again in the Brave damage potency. And remember, the base version of this from the start can delays the target by 1 turn. So after you use this, she's going to, assuming that you're using this on a broken target, she's going to break them again, and then she delays them. So you know, she can also be playing the role of like, you know, a delay shenanigan type of a character in your party, which makes her really, really powerful. And then afterwards, it's going to be also changing a little bit of the properties of her stances. So Ravager at 3 out of 3 realization, it's going to be changing her HP attacks into HP attack plus Ravager. So she's going to be raising her Brave based on her attack, and then she's going to be delivering a Brave plus HP attack with a slightly increased Brave potency. And also she's going to be having a Brave Overflow up to 120%, and she's going to be increasing her Ravager stacks by 1. And then her Commando stance, when you have this EX weapon realized 3 out of 3, is going to be changing her HP attack into HP attack plus Commando. She's going to be doing the same thing, pretty much raising her Brave based on attack, and then she delivers a 2-hit melee Brave plus HP attack with an increased Brave damage potency. She's also going to have that 120% Brave overflow. And then she's also going to be increasing her commando stacks by 1. So overall, this is a very powerful realization for her EX weapon. She already had a rework, like we mentioned before. So this is all she really needed to make her a whole lot more powerful. And there's so many different shenanigans that you could do with Lightning to kind of manipulate the turns, because she takes her turns so often. And this character is actually used for certain chaos fights where you can actually solo a stage with her. So this is going to be a really fun character to use once she gets this realization and her level 70 awakening coming soon to global. So very, very good upgrade for Lightning. All right, so the next character we're going to talk about is going to be the boy, which is going to be Hope. So we're going to go ahead and click on Hope right over here on the Dissidia DB. Where is Hope? Right there. All right. So first things first, a little bit about Hope, because some of us might have forgotten about this character. Hope has been sidelined for a long time. I remember the first time that I used him was, or the first time I really used him was for the Vanille Lost chapters, because back then that was really hard, and Hope was actually really good for that fight. Not only because he was synergy, but his buffs, protected us from the kind of damage that we took. So he was good for that. And then afterwards, he kind of fell off, even during the level 60 era. I mean, he got his 35 CP, but that was about it. So no one really cared about Hope when it came to support. I mean, kudos to you if you tried to make him work up until now, but it's about time that this character got a very, very massive upgrade. So he goes from 0 to like hero when it comes to support. So let's go ahead and take a look at what he gets. So his level 70 awakening, we're going to start off with that. Let's start off with his passive first. So he's going to be getting Resonance of Life and Power. So this is going to be raising the party's max HP and attack by 10%. So that's nice. Gives you a little bit more survivability. Gives you a little bit more oomph to your party as an aura. And then afterwards, he is going to be getting his C65 ability called Protect All. So what this does is 3 turns additional effect. I believe this is in conjunction with his skill 2, which is Protect. And then he also reduces the party's HP damage taken by 20%. So now we have somebody that can kind of help out with the whole HP damage that you're taking, while maybe not as efficient as like somebody like Porum or somebody like Bosch. This is great that he has this. This is very, very good that he has his C65 ability to be able to do this. And then afterwards, if we upgrade Protect All, what it's going to be doing is it's also going to be increasing the party's Brave by 20% of max Brave. So, we get a Brave heal right over there, which is nice. And then finally, when you use the Bloomstone, he's going to be getting an additional usage. And he's also going to be adding an additional 20% HP damage resist. So it's up to 40% for this particular C65. So very, very good. He's going to help you survive those really powerful HP attacks that are coming your way. So he's now going to be an option for that. Now let's go ahead and talk about his rework. So Hope really, really needed this rework. Like I said, this guy was sidelined for a while. So Shell's going to be getting an additional usage. Now when you use it, it's going to be increasing the Brave gain based on his attack. It's now going to be by 90%. Magic damage resist effect is going to be getting a 10% increase. Also a increased duration by 3, which is nice. The attack up is going to be at additional 30%, and it's also going to get a duration increase by 5 turns. It's going to lower the action delay. So there's going to be a chance after you use Shell, Hope might be taking his next turn like right after that. And also and anytime he uses Shell, does not increase turn count, and except outside of friend or summon. So that's really good. He now becomes a little bit more turn efficient because he's not adding turns when he's buffing up your party. And then while he is buffed, his HP attack becomes into its plus variant. So it's a 2-hit magic Brave plus HP attack, 60% per Brave hit, which also increases all allies Brave by 50% of the HP damage dealt. So he also Brave heals with this to his allies. So that's pretty cool. I like it. I'm digging it. And then afterwards, his Protect with his rework, he gets an additional usage. When you use it, it's also going to be getting a Brave gain increase based on attack by 40%. The physical damage resist effect is going to be increased by 10% with an additional 2-turn duration. The speed up effect is going to be getting a plus 5% increase to its effect and a 2-turn duration increase. It's going to be having lower action delay, just like his first ability or first skill. And same thing when you use Protect, just like Shell, it's not going to increase the turn count outside of a friend or summon. So again, this character has become a whole lot better as far as turn efficiency wise, because another issue with Hope is that he's not very turn efficient prior to this. I mean, he would buff you and then that's it. He has no way to really dump his HP attack outside of his HP attack command. So this is an amazing upgrade that he gets with this. And then finally, his Brave attack becomes Brave attack plus. The Brave hits now become 3. He gets a total Brave potency of 80 with this, and he also increases the party's Brave by 40% of attack. So very, very good upgrades coming from this rework. It's about time this character got something, because for a while nobody used this character. So he is going from hopeless to like actually becoming a very hopeful support character now in your roster if you decide to build him. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at his EX weapon. I want to take a look at it first in its regular form, so before we look at the realization. since this is going to be a brand new EX weapon when it comes out for Global. So he's going to get, when you equip it, he's going to get the EX ability called Last Resort. And I like the affinity ability. They call it Grown Boy. I think that's funny. So it adds a special effect called Bearer of Hope. So it's going to be like an icon that's above his head. You know how some characters have like a buff icon? I call it a buff icon. But what this does is the level is increased based on the amount of party buffs. It's at a limit of 5, and from levels 1 it goes from level 1 from 1 to 3 stacks, level 2 from 4 to 6 stacks, level 3 from 7 to 9, and then level 4 from 10 to 12, and then level 5 finally from 13 to 15. So you could calculate it there, but essentially the more stacks the better. So Last Resort, the EX ability that equips on him, is going to be a 4-hit AoE magic brave plus HP attack. If you use this on a single target, the brave damage is increased by 60%. It deals 100% HP damage to all targets. It also recovers the party's HP by 50% of the HP damage he deals, up to 20% of max HP. So now he could heal you with this EX. It starts off at slightly fast. So when you upgrade this, it becomes fast. So you're going to be seeing this EX ability come up quite often, which is great. And then what it does is while he has Bearer of Hope active, he raises his max brave by 40%. He raises his attack either by 20, 30, 40, 50, or 60% based on the stack or the level of Bearer of Hope. So that's pretty good. Now this character can actually deal some damage, and then afterwards he gets a Brave Overflow depending on the level of Bearer of Hope. So it can either be increased by 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%, and 30%. And then if we limit break the weapon at its base, so you're going to be getting a Brave increase to Last Resort. At 2 out of 3, you're going to be increasing your ally's Brave by 10% of the HP damage he deals. And then afterwards, at 3 out of 3, you'll be increasing that recast speed. So it goes from slightly fast to fast, which, like I said, is pretty amazing. Especially this character now has a way to deal damage, and he also has a way to increase his offense and heal you and give you some Brave. And he could do that quite often because of the recharge rate of this EX. Now, when you realize this EX weapon, Hope is going to get some pretty nifty upgrades here. So when Bearer of Hope is active at 0 out of 3, his Brave attack becomes a command called Brutal Sanction. So this is going to be a 4-hit AoE magic Brave attack. Each Brave hit deals 40%. So that's a total of 160% Brave damage potency. He's going to be increasing the Brave damage dealt by 60% when he's attacking a single target with this command. And then afterwards, after he uses it, he also increases the party's Brave by 70% of attack. So now he has another way just to battery the party and also deal some nice Brave damage. And then his HP attack. This is undoubtedly my favorite upgrade for Hope, is this HP attack. It turns into Retributive Blast. It's a 4-hit magic Brave plus HP attack with 80% per Brave hit. So that's 320% Brave damage potency off of a HP attack command. That's pretty good to me. I don't know about you, but that's pretty good to me. And literally what Hope does is he like summons like this flash of light that just like fires down like a barrage of lasers. It's really cool. It's awesome to look at. He also gets a Brave Overflow up to 120% with this command. He deals 20% HP splash damage to other targets, so he has a way to deal with multiple enemies. And he for the targeted enemy, 4 turns, he's going to be inflicting 40% defense down if he breaks or attacks a broken target. So that's a pretty good HP attack command. So that's undoubtedly, like I said, one of my favorite upgrades coming from this realization for his EX weapon. Now, at 1 out of 3, he's going to be raising the party's max Brave and attack by 20%, and that is permanent. It is acting as an aura. At 2 out of 3, when the quest starts, the party is going to start off with 8 turns of 60% magic damage resist and 60% physical damage resist, and as well as a 35% speed up. And he himself will start off with 8 turns of 50% attack up. So he pretty much makes it so your party is super tanky. You're resisting magic damage, you're resisting physical damage, and you're getting a speed up, and Hope is dealing more damage. So I don't know about you, but this character is already sounding really, really crazy amazing with these upgrades, and it's going to be really cool when Global gets this. And then finally, his realization, his Last Resort gets an upgrade. The Brave hits are now going to be 8, so it's going to be 8 hits. The increase in total Brave potency is going to be by 280%, and then he's going to get an Overflow with the ability, which is 120%. So more so just upgrades for the final realization portion of his weapon to his EX. But all in all, like I said, Hope went from 0 to hero. He went from hopeless to hopeful. So Amazing character, definitely excited for this particular upgrade too. Now the last character we're going to talk about, and I saved him because for me, this is the character that I'm most excited about. It's going to be Shadow. So you guys know me and my ninjas. I used to do a series called Team Ninja where I would be taking Yuffie, Edge, and Shadow into like, you know, different content because for a while they were ignored because they weren't really that great. They weren't really living up to their ninja name. But now for Global, Shadow is about to get his upgrade and we're going to go ahead and quickly go over it. So he first gets his level 70 Awakening. So his level 70 Awakening is going to give him a passive called Radiance of Power, which increases his attack by 40%. Shadow needs it. You want this character to hit as hard as possible. That's what he does. He's damage. And then afterwards, he's going to be getting a C65 ability called Set Evasion Up. So it grants him extra large evasion up for 3 turns. And I don't know the exact number, but I know I talked about this with Rem. It's anywhere hovering between like 80% to 90% evasion rate. So this guy is literally like a ninja now. He's doing what a ninja does. He's like dodging, bobbing, and weaving, and then just attacking you with like blinding fast speed and just crazy damage. So that's already pretty cool right there, right? And then finally he gets a rework. So before Shadow was an okay single target damage dealer, but he had low max brave and he still wasn't necessarily the greatest. I mean, he had low action delay on his abilities because he is a ninja, but outside of that, he was But let's see what he gets now. So with his rework, Shadow Stealth is going to get 3 additional usage. It's going to be increasing the Brave gain, moderately increased based on his attack. It's now going to be a 3-hit range Brave plus HP attack, not just a straight up HP attack. There's going to be an overflow up to 150% of max Brave. It's going to be integrating a slightly improved speed up and medium evasion up into a brand new unique buff called Veiled in Black. So instead of getting 2 generic buffs, you're going to get a framed buff called Veiled in Black. It's going to also get its duration extended by 7 turns. So it's going to combine the speed up and the medium evasion up. So that's pretty cool. So now he has even more ways to evade. Then afterwards, his skill 2, which is like his best ability, Wild Throw. It's going to get even more usages, plus 7. When you use it, it now is a 3-hit range Brave plus HP attack, triggered twice with a set potency. It also tremendously raises the total Brave potency of this ability. It has an overflow now, 120% of max Brave. It also raises his Brave by 20% of the HP damage he deals after the first HP attack, so that's always nice. And then when you use his Throw command, the Brave hit now becomes 2, and he also gets a moderate Brave damage potency increase on that Throw command. So that's a pretty nice rework, but we're going to go ahead and take a look at his EX weapon and what it brings to the table, because his EX weapon is what really sells this character for me. So his EX weapon is called Night Edge. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the regular version first. He gets the ability Shadow Fang. So Shadow Fang is a 5-hit range Brave plus HP attack with a stolen with an overflow of 120%. And it grants him a special unique icon called Interceptor for 3 turns. And it's about time Shadow got his dog, because even in his artwork for DFFOO, Interceptor is right there, but he was nowhere to be seen like in battle up until now. So Interceptor actually assists him in battle, which is amazing. So while Interceptor is active, this is what it does. So the Interceptor moderately raises max Brave and reduces Brave damage taken. So as long as he has that icon up, it's going to be a dog icon, he's taking less Brave damage, and he also has his max Brave increase. So that's nice. He's going to be dealing more HP damage, and now he's also going to be triggering Wild Fang every time he evades an attack, or after he uses his skill 1 Shadow Stealth, his skill 2 Wild Throw, or his Shadow Fang. So he has a counter, and now Interceptor will be coming out and dealing out additional damage after he uses his skill 1, skill 2, and EX. And what it is a 4-hit range Brave plus HP attack with a Brave overflow of 120%. Pretty cool, right? Well, it gets even better. So when you limit break this weapon at base, we're going to get a Brave damage increase to Shadow Fang. It also extends the duration of Interceptor by 3 turns. So now he has Interceptor active for 6 turns, and it also slightly raises the recast speed. It does start off at slightly slow, but then it jumps it up to normal, which is not bad. And you're going to be noticing that if you play Shadow and you get all of his gear, because he is a ninja, he's going to be taking his turns quite often with his abilities. He has low action delay on like just about everything that he does, because he's a ninja. That's what he does. All right, onto his realization. So at 0 out of 3, when you use his EX ability, it's going to be raising the Brave damage damage potency. It's also going to be raising the Brave Overflow to 150%, and it will now be dealing 50% HP splash damage to other targets, which is always nice. At 1 out of 3, he's going to be getting a moderate increase to his max Raven attack permanently, and when the quest starts, he automatically starts with Interceptor for 6 turns. So when you have this at 1 out of 3, Interceptor is already going to be by your side, so that's pretty cool. 2 out of 3, when the quest starts, Shadow is going to get he's going to get 3 buffs to start off with. He's going to get a medium attack up for 5 turns. He's going to get his Veiled in Black unique buff for 5 turns. And he's also going to be getting a medium max Brave up for 5 turns. And whenever Wild Fang triggers, or pretty much whenever Interceptor comes out, Interceptor now ignores defense. So it doesn't matter how high the defense of the target is, Interceptor is going to be chewing right through that. He's going to be biting right through that, doing what he does as Shadow's partner. So that's going to be pretty awesome. And then afterwards, when you use Shadow Fang, the Brave hits now become 8 at 3 out of 3. He's going to get another Brave damage potency increase on the ability. He's also going to be getting a slight boosted max Brave Overflow. Now it's at 180%. And now his HP attack becomes HP attack plus throw, which is a 2-hit range Brave plus HP attack that ignores defense and also has a Brave Overflow of 120%. So Shadow becomes like this evasion counter monster with his dog just constantly coming out and dealing additional damage, and provided that you fully upgrade him, he's going to be ignoring defense with that. Very, very powerful character. This is going to be another character that you could use to solo certain chaos stages. I will let you know that if you do plan on taking this character to solo, I believe it's FEOD 9 or Dimensions and Entropy 9 that you could take this character to. You want to try to remove speed passives on him. The reason why is the way that EX abilities recharge, each turn, whether it's your turn or whether it's the enemy's turn, actually charges up your EX. So technically the slower the character is, the faster that EX will come up, because your turn won't come up as often. And because Shadow's evasion is just so high, more than likely RNG could potentially play into your favor, where he's going to be dodging and weaving all of those attacks, and then Interceptor is just going to counter. And because Interceptor has ignore defense, you don't have to worry about getting its damage hampered down, because he ignores the defense. So this character becomes an absolute single target machine with that evasion, and very, very, very good character. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to take these characters into a quick battle so we see them in action, and then I'm going to give you guys my final verdict on how I would prioritize pulling for these characters on the banner that they're going to be featured on. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it right here. And again, excuse the long lengthiness of this video. I was really excited to make it and just kind of have like a nice, nice casual chat with you guys about these characters, because all of these characters I was really, really excited for. All right, so Shadow's going first. So let's just see Interceptor in action. Here we go. And there he is. There we go. And you hear that nice bark, which is so cool. And as you could see, that attack missed, so Interceptor countered. Now, one thing that I hope they do for Global is, before, when Shadow first got Interceptor, he would go Interceptor, right? He would say that line, and now they took it out to it only happens now when you use his EX, which was kind of a bummer, because I liked it when he said it all the time. All right, so there's Lightning. As you could see, her turn, she started off with a free ability usage, no turn count added, and then we went from Spark Strike right into her EX ability, and now she's back to her turn again, which is like, whoa, crazy, right? All right, now we're gonna go ahead and show off Hope. So I'm gonna buff up the party here. So as you can see, low action delay, it didn't add to the turn count. Let's do Protect. All right, and then with Shadow here, let's check out his Shadow Stealth. So we're gonna get Interceptor. Now I don't want Lightning stealing too many turns, so I'm gonna do this on purpose. Because I wanna show you guys his Hope's HP attack. That HP attack that I was hyping up here. Check this out. Look at that. That was crazy, right? Really, really cool. All right, so with Shadow, I'm just gonna Brave Attack, because I wanna show you guys Hope's EX ability. All right, Shadow, actually, I think we'll be... no, we'll do this. I want to show you guys Hope's EX ability. So we're just gonna purposely draw out this fight so I could show off what these characters can do. All right, he's gonna... oh, we don't get a counter there. That's fine. So we've seen Lightnings, so we don't need to worry about her. All right. All right, here goes Hope. Here we go. Very cool. Love it, love it. All right, so Shadow is next. All right, so we lost Interceptor. As you could see, that was kind of cool. He like backs away. All right, come on, Shadow. Come on, Shadow's EX ability. Come on, let's see it. Let's see it. It's coming up. All right, here we go. So here's Shadow's EX ability. Ah, there it is. He said it. And then Interceptor comes out and deals damage. So that's pretty cool, right? So as you can see, these characters got some pretty nice upgrades. It's going to be really, really cool to build them when they finally get these upgrades coming soon to Global. All right, we're going to go ahead and just finish off this boss now. All right, there we go. So that is going to be a little bit of a showcase there about what these characters can do when they finally come out with these upgrades. Now, the banner is going to be featuring all 3 of their EX weapons. I don't know if we're going to get a free multi. I'm hoping we do. We never know. Maybe we'll find out when we get the Square Enix community stream, because we know that there is going to be one for the May to announce the May events. But this is how I would prioritize which EX to go for. I would prioritize Hope. As you guys know, I value support a lot, because having a good support sometimes is the difference between life and death when it comes to doing some of these harder chaos content. And as you can see, Hope, turn efficient, very powerful HP attack command, very fast charging EX ability that heals you. So he is very, very reliable, and he also reduces the amount of incoming damage that you take, both from the physical and magic side. And then afterwards, because Lightning's EX weapon was actually featured quite often, and also her EX weapon is actually in the token shop. If you still have those tokens, you could just grab it from there. Or if you are a newer player, or a brand new player, there's actually a banner that includes Cloud and Squall and Lightning, so you have a chance to get it there. But let's say if you don't have the tokens and you didn't get it on that starter banner, I would try to grab Lightning's as well if you can with tickets. And then Shadows, I would even though Shadows my favorite, I would prioritize his the least, just because, you know, damage dealers come in a dime a dozen. But you are going to start seeing that starting from here on out up until we get to the early Eldian Burst era, a lot of these reworks and upgrades, even for these damage dealing characters, most of them are quite good. So Shadows, even though I prioritize as the lowest, I would say that his is still pretty, it's pretty worth it to grab in my opinion, because he's a really fun character to use. You know, he's all about that evasion, so that's how I would prioritize the EX weapons as far as if you're going to be pulling for the weapons, which ones to try to go for first. So Hope is #1 priority, so hope to get his. And then afterwards, Lightning, it depends on where you're at, like stash wise, like, you know, if you have your tokens left or whatnot. And then afterwards, Shadow is the last one, but Shadow is also pretty good too. So I know, like I said, I know this video is pretty long, but thank you guys, you know, for keeping up with me. If you guys enjoyed this style of presentation compared to my other ones, I know it's a lot longer, but it gives me more time to talk to you guys and just give, you know, I get to show my face, all that good stuff. So you get to see, you know, just how I really feel about these weapons. But thank you guys for watching. I'm very excited for the future of DFFOO. Hopefully you guys are too. This is 40 the Broadway Saiyan signing out. Mahal, everyone.